Please come in, take your seats. If you want to stand, please come on over and stand. Make sure you get some shade. We don't want anybody falling out. Get some water. I'll give it a couple minutes, 30 seconds for everybody to come in, sit down, get comfortable. Can you hear me? Check, 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 check. Good? Volume's good? All right. Here we go, everybody. The man of the hour is still some last remarks here. Okay, here we go. Let's get her started. I want to thank everybody for coming out on behalf of Chief Osby and the Osby family. There's nothing like a good open house. And here we have it. We have an open house, a firefighter open house. And it's a tradition with the county fire department. What typically happens is at an open house or when a firefighter turns in their gear, they'll hang up their turnouts on the hook on the apparatus floor here, and their picture will be here. Now this is an open house, however, it's a little different than your typical open house because it is the fire chief of Los Angeles County who is hanging up his turnouts. And why that is significant is because Chief Osby is only the 9th chief in the 100 years of Los Angeles County. Yeah, go ahead, clap it up. So though this open house is kind of a casual party, easy ceremony, it's not our formal retirement party that we were going to have in a few months, we still want to recognize this moment. It's a good moment. So without further ado, we have a couple speakers with a couple remarks. I'd like to introduce 1014 President Dave Gelati.
Good afternoon. First of all, let's just get this right out there. I'm jealous that it's not my name and my coat going up on that hanger. This is a hard job. And the job of fire chief, more than a lot of other jobs, is extremely hard. There are highs and lows. You carry weights on your shoulder that nobody will know. Some of us will know. And Chief Osby and I have been behind closed doors where people don't get to go. Nobody in this building, nobody in this room knows. Maybe Chief Freeman, but even that's antiquated information now, right? And we've dealt with some things. The highs and the lows, the heavy lifts. We've had to have conversations that most of you in this room just count your blessings you haven't had to have. And we've had to do things to make sure this fire department stays on its feet. We've had to work together collaboratively on 99% of the stuff to get it done. And some stuff we took different paths on. We've had difficult days together, no doubt about it. That's the relationship between labor and management. But in our history, coming up on 100 years of service, not just the 9th fire chief, that's pretty heavy, huh? That's amazing. But also the first African-American chief that we've had. I don't stutter and I don't stammer in labor. We have a lot of issues, gender-wise, to work on, racially, country's torn, and this is one department, and we don't do that. We come together and get it done, and I'm not afraid to say it. Like when you got sworn in, I took the mic and talked about it. That is heavy to take on that responsibility. And Daryl Osby raised his hand and said, I'm going to do it. None of what he has had to do has been easy to keep this fire department in a path of forward progression to be the greatest fire department in the nation. I still work here as a fire captain, and ironically, we share the number 9 together. You never knew this. One of his last orders was to order the Union President's engine, of which is behind me right now. I'm on duty, I'm on union release, we have some actors in there. That's my engine today, and he ordered engine 9 to be up here because it's engine 9, 9th fire chief. And so he got one last gig in to give the union president a direct order to get his engine up here and celebrate today. I just want you to know how this works, all right? Having said that, Chief Osby, to you and your family, and in a long-standing tradition of what LA County firefighters do in hanging up our turnout coats both here and in certain fire stations, It's a long haul. You give a lot. Not everybody from our job has made it through, have they? We've had another tough year. And for you to make it to that beautiful building in Pasadena called La Serra. And this is where we reunite again. The union hard fought for benefits. Chief Osby's going to have a retirement and medical care for his family. He's going to be able to go home and enjoy his family. And let me tell you something. I can already see it on your face. You look different. One day I will look different. And leaders that step up and carry heavy weights up hills and down hills to make it happen, it's not easy. I am happy for you, just like every other firefighter on our job. One badge, one bear, one share. Chief Osby's hanging up his coat and his bear today, and we should all be so happy for him to go home and enjoy the fruits of his labors with his family. And we wish you health and happiness and hopefully your super long retirement. Congratulations, Chief Osby. Engine 9, 9th Fire Chief of the County Fire Department. Join me in congratulating the Chief in his send-off.
Thank you, Captain Gelati. Appreciate those words. Next up is our acting fire chief, Chief Anthony Maroney.
So before I begin with some serious notes, really hats off to Chief Sourbeer. I know he's not our PAO, but he's much better than about the last 5 PAOs we had. So you're really doing a great job. Thank you, Chad. And to President Gelati, that was a wonderful speech for Chief Osby. You're jealous he's retiring? I'm mad it wasn't you. I'm only kidding. I want Dave to hang around a little bit longer. But no, thank you all for coming out. When Robert Harris and I started talking about getting an event together for Fire Chief Osby, we almost had to twist his arm because you didn't want this. And you told me that you thought that nobody would show up. And it was actually the opposite. And even though you canceled twice, for reasons beyond your control, we're happy you did because it's going to allow for your daughter to come up and say a few words. And that's going to be really important. So like President Gelati said, you had so many milestones in your career. We're all so, so proud of you. I want to thank you for your leadership and your mentorship of me. And I just wanted to talk about the congratulations cards. Please fill one out and put it in the box. What I wrote for Fire Chief Osby is it says, retirement wishes for Chief Osby. Always. You always told the truth. Never. You never shied away from controversy. Remember. I remember our times on Squad 58. Enjoy yourself because you deserve it. Visit often, but don't stay too long, or we're going to assign you work. So, Chief, please do have a long and happy retirement. You deserve it. And I just want to talk about when I first came up, it took me a while to get through the crowd. I saw people like Penman, I saw people Williams, I saw Jerry Wortham, I saw Rod Washington, I saw Varani Steele, and a bunch of other people out there that I can't name, but it was like old home week, just trying to get through the crowd. It was such a wonderful opportunity for me personally to see old friends. But I wanted to talk about your father. So when I walked up to your father, Mr. Robert Osby, Fire Chief Robert Osby, he told me that he was just as proud of you as we all are. So I think there's probably no greater gift to you than the love and admiration of your parents. You did a great job. Congratulations. No one's ever going to fill your shoes. Thank you.
Did it come back? I apologize. I'm sorry those last words didn't go out, but I think everybody was able to hear them. Thank you, Chief Maroney. Next up, somebody dear to Chief Osby's heart, his daughter, Stephanie Paggi.
Thank you. I wanted to come up here to say some words to my dad because I know how important it is to him to hear from his daughter. I want to express to you how proud I am of you and your accomplishments. You have made history as the first African-American fire chief of Los Angeles County. You have also helped others along the way to achieve their dreams in the fire service. You have been a leader, a mentor, a teacher, and a great role model. However, your greatest achievement has been being a great dad. You were fully present, supportive, and interactive while providing for your family and pursuing your dreams in the fire department. It is incredible how you were able to give it your all at your job while without sacrificing time with your family. You made every one of our orchestra and ballet recitals, school plays, and speaking engagements. Some of my favorite memories are when you were battalion chief in La Cañada, and we would go up to the foothills and go on hikes. Other prize memories were traveling all over the country, in which I developed a broader perspective and passion for the natural world and protecting it. For my whole life, I have seen you working hard and working smart at your job. It has been amazing witnessing you rising up the ladder in your career. You are the full embodiment of focus and persistence. It is said that every generation should be a little bit more successful than their parents. Well, you have set the bar very high for my sister and I. Congratulations, Dad, for your legacy. You are such an inspiration. I love you and I'm proud of you. I also had a few words from my sister because she wasn't able to make it. So she said, congratulations on your retirement, Daddy. I have truly been lucky to watch all of your accomplishments throughout your career. You have shown that through hard work and perseverance, any goal you set for yourself is attainable. What's even more impressive is that even though you gave so much to your career, you still have been the most amazing dad. Somehow you seem to have managed to give 100% to both your job and your family and make it look easy. I have always felt so proud when people find out that you're my dad. You have dedicated yourself to one of the noblest professions and risen to the top. Thank you for all the wisdom that you have imparted on me. You've shown that any dream is possible and to always help others along the way. You are such an inspiration to me. I love you. Now it's time to finally get that vote you've been dreaming about. And I have some words from my mom, Margaret Osby. I respect and honor you as a person for your hard work and achievements. You have reached the highest position in your profession through perseverance and dedication to the job. The examples you have set have been inspiring to those around you. Thank you for being a great example. And friends, I hope for you a happy, healthy retirement. I hope for you continued success with any and all future endeavors. Congratulations, you will surely be missed in the fire service. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. I always love hearing from the families. It always gives a good perspective. Next up, I want to introduce the other Chief Osby, Miss Patricia Osby.
Let me first say thank each and every one of you for attending today. As Chief Maroney mentioned earlier, my husband, Chief Osby, was like, no one's gonna come. I don't wanna do this. We're like, Daryl, it's gonna work out. Trust, right? And each time, Martha and Amy, his right and left hand, they're in the back there, He said, you know what, I'm not going to get involved. I'm going to leave it to you, Martha, Amy, and Chief Maroney. But each time he got involved, and I'm like, I thought you weren't going to get involved. So we have been dealing with that. But one thing that I want to say today, one favorite quote of mine is from Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. Chief Osby, you did it. I am eternally proud of you. I love you dearly. You leave a legacy of so many accomplishments. Every man, woman, them, they, black, white, Hispanic, Latino will walk in your footsteps and be very proud to be a part of the Los Angeles County Fire Service. It's just an honor to be here today. And again, I love you, Daryl. I have a long honey-do list waiting for you. And you did it. Thank you.
I gotta apologize. I said Miss Chief Osby. It's Mrs. Chief Osby. Let's get it right. Let's get it right. Okay, we heard briefly from a lot of the people. Myself. Chief Osby.
Well, good afternoon. And I should have spoken first because listening to the speakers before me got me emotional. Messed up my eyeliner and my makeup. But I was told to keep it brief. We have a time frame here, so I'm going to follow those instructions. I'm going to try. But first, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. It's just been like a huge reunion. I've seen some of my classmates from when I got in the department here in 1984. A lot of the other retirees where we shared a lot of memories, and hopefully we have more time to talk now. But if we don't, now that I'm joining you, we will definitely have more time. I can't make excuses as it relates to I'm the fire chief, I don't have time. So I definitely will make time now. To the existing members of this organization, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here. Chief Maroney, I told them they could have an extended lunch break today, and then we have labor here, so they have representation. So I want to thank you for that. I'm not going to mention too many names because I don't want to get in trouble, but really want to thank my family for being here, and you all know who you are. Some of my family members really didn't believe I was the fire chief because we have a lot of fun at home, and sometimes I act goofy, and there's another side of me that you've never seen because I'm always trying to be serious here because it's serious in relation to what we do as it relates to the mission of the Los Angeles County Fire Department. But I really want to thank my family members here for the support. You know, some of you have been here from the beginning, and you've seen the trials and challenges throughout my career, and I want to thank you for that support, and just can't tell you how much I love you. I have some dear friends here. I saw Tony somewhere, one of my buddies. Thank you for, he's been here from the beginning to end, probably one of the hardest working men I know. I have my other neighbor here, Desi. He was like 4 or 5 years old when I got in the fire department. He got to play in my gear, and we're neighbors. And you know, I don't know if I have any other friends that close that are here, but they've seen me from the beginning to the end. And I said that when I got promoted to fire chief that I would never be homeless because I have friends that are that well in relation to ensuring that they'll support me in my endeavors. To my dad, I just can't think of a better role model and example. We are chiefs, but we're chiefs in a different era. My dad's also in the fire service, as you've heard, but just being a young kid, watching my father in the 60s and 70s, and the trials and tribulations that he went through, It almost prevented me from doing this. But I'm glad that I did. Because from you, I've learned strength, and I was able to continue the legacy of this family in the fire service, to continuously make it better. I'm glad that my lovely daughter got a chance to speak. Her sister couldn't make it, and I'm glad to hear from my first wife too. This moment in time was not easy. It was very challenging in relation to balancing my career and my upward trajectory in relation to my family. And I just want to thank them for always supporting me. To my current wife, I just can't say enough, Patricia. You know, they always talk about the challenge of getting somewhere, but they never really talk about the challenge of staying and performing in that environment and performing in that position. And we have a lot more time to spend. I know I'm on probation at home. No, really, I mean, I've been truly committed to this organization to a fault. You know, as I look around this audience, I see some of my other, I can't help but say thanks to Joe Wojak, my partner back in the day. Marsha Hoffman, thank you. She was like my second mom down here when my parents left and continued their career trajectory. And the fact being known is that back in '85, people were trying to fire me. And I had Marsha with her crazy butt show up at the fire station. And she's been a second mom ever since, so thank you. I see some of the Centaurians that are here. But just want to go back to my wife. I just want to just thank you. I can't give you enough praise publicly in relation to the support that you've provided. Her little nickname, I can just say this openly because she always calls me King Kong. I don't have muscles like King Kong. I don't have a big pecs like King Kong, but she made me feel that I was King Kong. So thank you for supporting me and helping me through those challenges. To my staff that's here, and I've seen members of my career that have worked with me, but my last two members were Martha and Amy. So there was a little competition when I got married, but thank you. I mean, they had my credit cards and everything, so they took care of me, but thank you, Martha and Amy. To labor and to the existing staff that's here at Chief Maroney, and I'll just conclude it with this. My 38 years has been amazing. I've had a lot of accolades in relation to my career trajectory, culminating with being the fire chief and even the first African-American fire chief. But what's always going to stand out most to me is the mentoring programs I've been involved in, the successes of others, the ability to help people in emergency situations or in their professional acumens to see their successes. And that's always going to stand out most to me in relation to my tenure in the fire service. But a question was asked of me, there was a statement that was made by Chief Maroney, and I'll end it with this, is that they asked, what did Chief Maroney mean when he said that he's going to make things better in the department? And I will say this, we've been around for over a century. There's always been challenges in this organization, but with those challenges, that's made us the best department, not just in this country, but in the world, because we've endured those challenges. And we've had great leadership, including myself, and I'm going to take credit for that leadership. One of the things that I thought was important when I assumed the position of fire chief was to develop a strategic plan, because I thought that we should always have a path and a template to where we've been and where we're going. And I knew there were a lot of members in the organization at that time that said, well, we're already the best, so why are we doing this? And I said it because it's important for us to sustain where we are and to continuously get better. And I truly mean that. So I can just say this, my mom couldn't make it either. I just can't sit down without saying something about her. I know that when I started this trek 38 years ago, I would go home to my parents and my dad would ask, how was your day? And give him an overview of what happened, but I was exhausted. You know, I had someone to take care of my clothes, fed me, gave me vitamin packs to get the energy to make it through the training to get to the next day. I can just say to everybody here that I gave it all that I had. I gave it my all. And it's definitely time for me to transition to hand the reins off to Chief Maroney as an interim chief. So I say to you and the executive team working with labor and all the members that are here in this organization, that it's now your responsibility to take this organization to the next level. And I'm completely confident in the leadership as it pertains to that endeavor. I know that I have the distinct honor of hanging my turnout gear now. I'm glad my dad didn't come up here and speak. He would tell you that my son really, in the 38 years, only was in the field for about 10 years. For the other 30 years, he was folding his turnout gear and he kept it in the back of his vehicle. So I've not hung gear in about 30 years. But I now have the distinct honor of hanging my gear for the last time. And I know that when I've spoken to our new hirees in the organization, and they'll walk down that training facility, and they'll see the other gear that's hung there with their helmets and those turnout coats and those pictures. My picture will not be there. And my gear will be there. And I've always told them, and I get to be part of that proud legacy that was a part of this organization that made it what it was. And each set of turnouts, and each helmet, and each picture has a story, and mine does too. And I would just say in conclusion, I couldn't have thought of a better profession than to be a member of the Los Angeles County Fire Department and to add to the legacy of this amazing organization. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Osby. And please remain standing. In the tradition of the Los Angeles County Fire Department, as we mentioned before, when a firefighter retires, they hang their turnout coat and their pants. And this is what we're going to do today. Symbolically, you'll notice behind me it's engine number 9. Chief Osby was the 9th fire chief, Los Angeles County Fire Department. And right now, he's going to take his turnouts and hang them on the hook.
way, brother. Thank you. Next briefing.
I'm done. I got my last assignment yesterday. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, right, I know. It was like a press conference at an emergency event now. Excuse me. Yeah, except it's not an emergency. All right, thank you. You good? Okay, thank you. Thank you, KTLA. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. You guys were always out there in front lines with us. Appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know.
No, we're gonna continue. We'll have opportunity in just a second. Thank you, everybody. We're gonna continue. Hang on, Chief Osby. Mr. Matthews, will you come over real quick? We got a couple of helicopters in the air, but we're gonna do a quick presentation from Supervisor Mitchell's office. Yolo County Board of Supervisors, we have a presentation.
Chief Osby, we appreciate you. Supervisor Mitchell wanted to be here, but she's on vacation at an undisclosed location. But on behalf of the Board of Supervisors, we want to congratulate you for 38 years of service. For the record, that's almost as long as I've been alive. We appreciate you, and you've just been of so much service to LA County Fire over the years, and we know Chief Maroney will be left in good hands to continue the work of the department. So appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Can I take the picture?
Yes.
Got it? Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. I told Holly I need this. I'll do some volunteer work when I got time. Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna continue. Can I get everybody to take their seats? We have a couple more things that we're gonna do, in keeping with tradition. At the conclusion, Chief Osby's turnouts will go up on the wall with the rest of the firefighters and then be retired into a museum. The next thing in our program is, in keeping with tradition, the last alarm. The last alarm will be toned out throughout the county of Los Angeles, notifying Chief Osby's retirement today. If you listen, we're going to put it on the mic. It's going to tone out here right now in 30 seconds. Now, as we conclude, if you cast your eyes up to the sky, there will be a flyby. You are going to have to come out in the sun, or you're going to see a helicopter flyby. We come about 1 minute.
I thought you wanted to capture the
I do.
flyover.
I'm trying.
Just that right here, that big ass Chanel.
Have a safe day. And a happy retirement, Chief Osby.